Good morning and welcome to The Art of Composition. Thanks for joining me today. I appreciate it. So as you can see, I'm on the Hardcore Street Photography website. And the reason I wanted to look at this today is because in the Martin Parr video, his last workshop, he mentions this website. And it has a lot of members. It has 81,842 members. Street photography has really become flooded. It's a flooded genre now. And it's very difficult to find photographers that really stand out because there's so much information. There's so many photographs out there now because of Flickr and so on. It's just incredibly difficult to narrow down. But what I want to do is I just want to poke around this website and pull a few images that really stand out to me. And it's easy to do this when you learn design, because when you look at a photograph or a drawing or painting in a smaller version of itself, meaning a thumbnail or a postage stamp or somewhere around that size, you can quickly go through and see if the designs work or not. But I'm not stating that a lot of these don't work, but what I'm saying is the ones that I pick out stand out among the rest. So let me just go through this a little bit. And this is the first one right here. This photograph for me stands out. It's a clean image, nice negative shapes in this area right here. Everything about this image reads clean. There's nothing distracting on the edges. It's a good moment. It's a good street photograph, and it's not cluttered. And for myself, I like photographs that don't have a lot of clutter. Whenever you get into a lot of figures in a photograph, it has to be exceptional to work when it comes to the more content that you have in it. So this is another simple arrangement. I like the expression here. I also like how these, they're not ships, what are they, sailboats in the background. All of them are separated clearly. There's no bad overlaps right in here. And there's nothing around the edges that distracts. I like how the shape in here is completed. The photographer didn't cut it too close. This is a nice photograph. Simple. Again, a simple arrangement and nicely executed. This is a good example of good overlaps. Obviously, the photographer is incredibly close to their subjects. This reads clearly. You have good figure-ground relationship here, and there's nice overlaps in here with these figures here. There's a lot going on in this one. And like I said, when you look at them smaller and it's hard to distinguish what's going on, that's a good way to narrow down what's an exceptional photograph. For example, in this photograph here, I'm not saying that I don't like it, but what I'm saying is that there's a lot going on in this area here, and it's hard to figure out exactly what the subject is or what the focal point is in that photograph. And I've never looked at these before, by the way. This one's nice right here. I like how the hat fits nicely into this area right here. And I'm always aware of this. I'm always looking at how things overlap. Your subject's here, but all of this area right in here is important and how it overlaps in the background. And I think this is a nice image. Nice clean cuts around the edges. I like the push and pull effect. You have this figure looking here and then this one looking over here. So you have a push-pull effect to that. So I think that's a nice photograph. And again, something like this. This is very... I understand what the photographer's going for, but for me it doesn't read as well as some of the other ones. And the same thing here. This one reads clear. And when I say reads, what I mean is that the viewer can easily take in the information that the photographer has presented in the frame, which is most of these, they look like 1:5. But this figure is nicely separated out from the background. You have good figure-ground relationship. I like how he's leaning in and the edges are fairly clean, so it's a great photograph. This one here, there's a lot going on here. In my opinion, there's just too much in the background on that one. And like I said, I'm only going to pull out the ones that really stand out as far as good designs go. And there's so many in this website that I'm not going to spend too much time on this today. I just want to look through it. I like this one, but all of this over here sort of takes away from what's going on here. Interesting idea, though. There's a lot going on in this photograph here. You have to be really careful about busy photographs and not lose sight of what your subject is supposed to be. Like in this one here, this is incredibly busy. I'm not exactly sure what the focal point is on this. This is nice. The focal point is right here, but I like how these lines bring you into this. Everything reads clearly. I'm not even exactly sure what this is, but it doesn't matter because I think it's a nice design. Everything reads clearly. And I like this break right in here, this horizontal break right here. This is the greatest area of contrast right here. But it doesn't take away from the subject, which is right here. You know, images like this, it's really hard. Like I said, when you're bringing them down to a smaller size, it really tells you how well the design of the photograph works. There's a lot going on in this photograph here too. It's a little bit too busy for my taste. I'm just trying to find some that really stand out and read clearly to the viewer. Again, here you have so much going on. You have to really be careful of overlaps. I was reading an article not too long ago from Ken Rockwell, and he was asked to judge a photo contest. And what he did the same thing. He brought all the images down to a thumbnail, and it allowed him to go through quickly and narrow it down which is the best photograph out of the entries that he was going to select one. So it's a great way to evaluate your own photographs too. This is nice right here. All of your figures are clearly separated from one to the other. This is nice placement. I like the balance of this photograph. There's nothing here. You don't have any bad overlaps here. This is a great photograph. Clean edges. Nice division here. I love this. This is great. There's a lot of photographs on this website. I like this one. Everything is reading clearly, even this area right in here. I don't know if I like this part with the pole, but this is very busy right in this area here. It's hard to find really good images that, design-wise, that stand out from some of the others. And that's why there's a lot of silence here today. Because I've never been on this website before. And I'm just trying to find a few that really stand out. This is nice right here. Simple idea, simple arrangement. This is nice right in here. You have space in between the hand and the chair here. The edges are clean. And I like how the head is cut right here. I think this one works for me. I like this one as well. A play on juxtaposition, but great negative space in between here. And this is nice right in here. Everything reads clearly. A simple photograph, but not easy to capture. I like this as well. I love all the verticals. But again, all the ones that I'm selecting, they're clean, what I call clean images. They read clearly on the first pass. It's interesting with street photography. It's easy to lose sight of design and only focus in on the subject that you're taking pictures of. But the design element is critical. It makes or breaks a photograph. Whether the idea is good, whether the juxtaposition is good, and there's a lot of juxtaposition within street photography genre. But if the design doesn't work, the photograph fails. And that's why it's so hard to get a great street photograph. Having all of those elements come together at once is incredibly difficult. I'll look at one more page. See if I can find a few more here. Looks like they're repeating. Let me see if I can find something else. You know, it's interesting. I was looking at this one right here before. The figure doesn't read against its background. It gets lost in all this area right here. Good idea, but it doesn't stand out enough. It doesn't read clearly. You really have to think in simpler terms. This one's nice. And it doesn't show up. Okay. I think that's going to be it for today. I'm not coming across a lot that stand out to me. So thanks for joining me. I appreciate it, as always.